A warm welcome to all the viewers for the course Advanced Manufacturing Technology, AME 702. Myself Thiapal, Assistant Professor of Department of Mechanical Engineering, JIS College of Engineering, and today I am going to give a brief lecture on CNC machine. Well, we all are aware of the conventional machining process, and there you have already seen that in conventional machining process, the dimensional accuracy that has been obtained is not up to the mark. Well, to get the more dimensional accuracy, high productivity quality, now we are going for the automation type of machining, that is one of them is CNC machining. And here what happens is that you can run the machining with some code language, that is some programming code. You just perform a program, just insert it in the machine or store it in the memory of the computer of the machine, and it can perform the task repeatedly. And if any error is there, if you want to modify the program, then it is very comfortable for all of us to just change the programming language. So before we proceed with the detailed lecture about CNC machine, let's have a look at the content. So today initially we are going to talk about the introduction of CNC machine. Then we are going to discuss about the type of CNC machine, that is probably about the lathe CNC and milling CNC. How CNC works? What are the features of a CNC machine? What are the tools that are associated? Next we are going to discuss about the tool path, cutting and plotting motion, as well as we are going to talk about the machining process. So now let's move to the next slide, that is the introduction of CNC machines. Well, as discussed in the earlier lecture, that is in CNC a mini computer is used to control the machine tool. Functions from stored in information or punch tape input or computer terminal input. Now a CNC is specifically defined as it is a self-contained NC system for a single machine tool which is used as a dedicated mini computer, and it is controlled by the instruction stored in the memory to perform all the basic numerical control functions. Now the definition which was given by EIA, according to them, the numerical control system where a dedicated stored program computer is used to perform some or all of the basis numerical control functions in accordance with control programs which is stored in read or write memory or random access memory, which is commonly known as RAM. Well, an NC system with a microcomputer or microprocessor using software to implement control algorithms, then the control units and panel of CNC has been already shown in this particular figure. So this is a figure that is showing you the control panel units of CNC machine. And most important thing is it's similar to some NC control also. Only the difference being is that it works online mode and NC works in batch processing mode. It can be mounted or stand alone as in NCs also. Now the day by day lowering of the price of the computer has increased the demand of CNCs. The last CNC unit have more memory, processing speed and more intelligence built into the computer. But a typical CNC may need only the drawing specification of a part to be manufactured, and the computer automatically generates the part program for the loaded part. Now CNC offer flexibility and computational capacity along with options. New system options can be incorporated into the CNC control simply by just reprogramming the unit, and due to this characteristic of CNC machine, it is also termed as softwared NC machine. So another name of CNC, it has been termed as softwared NC machine. Now what exactly we were talking about CNC? That is, data is sent to the machine, or I mean to say data is sent to the machine tool by means of punch card or tapes, and the reader at the machine performs no calculation or interpolation, but you are getting the ultimate product after completing the machining. So input device is there where you are inserting some part programs. There is a MCU, that is a machine control unit, where data processing unit as well as control loop unit is already located, and from here motion data has been sent to the driving system. Now this driving system is basically making movement of the machine tool, and this movement of the machine tool also gives some feedback system that whether it has reached to the accurate position or not, and from this feedback system the velocity feedback, the positional feedback is again sent to the machine control unit. So if they both are matching according to the required dimension, then okay, finally the operation will get stopped. But in case if it is not achieving the exact position, then they will send a signal to the MCU unit. Then the remaining data or the remaining distance that has not been traveled will be sent again through the driving system to the machine tool to complete the entire path motion. So you can see how basically a CNC operation is occurring. As I have already told you that today we are going to discuss about the types of machine. Of which machine? Obviously CNC machine. So before that, let us have a look for there are various machine also. Like lathe is there for machining metal and plastic also. So what it is main function? It is used to produce 3D product shape or mold for plastic product. Similarly, if I talk about the milling machine, then for mold making and surface milling is also there. It is used to produce dies for die cutting printed products also. Now we are going to talk about the CNC lathe. Now you have gone through the conventional lathe machine also, where you have to set the feet, you have to give depth of cut and so and so. But in CNC lathe machine, only a programming has to be done where you are giving the exact requirement data is required for machining. So you are just giving an input signal as a part program to the machine, and the entire operation automatically it is done. Even coolant on, coolant off, whether the coolant will be flood or it will be mist, everything is dependent on that particular code that you are instructing in a part program. So this is CNC lathe is none other than automated version of manual lathe. It has been programmed to change tool automatically. So various tool you can use. Suppose there are 10 types of different tool I have placed in the automatic tool changer. So right now if I am performing operation 1 and for that I require tool number 5. Similarly for carrying out operation 2 in the same product, I require tool number 5. Then you can give a code to change the tool also in the program. And the most interesting thing is that automatically the tool is unloaded as well as the new tool has been set into the tool holder. So basically there is a program to change the tool automatically. And this CNC lathe is basically used for turning and boring operation. It can be done for wood also, it can be done for metal also, as well as it can be done for plastic also. Now we are talking about CNC milling machine. If you look at the conventional milling machine, so far we know that while performing any operation, for example like for cutting gear and all those things, you have to set the indexing also. But here again CNC milling machine, it can perform various type of job operation, and there we are basically preferring of using 3 axis. And the most important thing is that not only 3 axis, you can obtain up till 4-5 axis also in CNC milling machine. And this is also used for cutting the material like wood, metal as well as plastic. And basically CNC milling machine is used to make 3D prototypes, molds, cutting dies, printing plates and signal also or signs also. Now we are going to discuss that how and in what way CNC basically works. As the term CNC states that it is computer numerical control machine. That means you are going to insert some code in your part program, and according to that particular instruction they are just going to perform the operation. So basically CNC works on 2 codes. One is G code, another is M code. Now these are number, values and coordinate. Now these codes are there, but if you want to represent, suppose if you want to draw this line, okay, and this is your position A, this is your position B. So how you are going to represent? How you are going to define that position A and position B? So on basis of the coordinate system, you can state the value for A, for example 2, 2. That is, you are defining the distance for x-axis and y-axis. Similarly for B also, you can give it is traveling in x direction. Suppose it has been from 2, it has been increased to 6, means by 4. That means 6, 2, because y-axis is remaining same. So the code is always justified by a coordinate value, so that the tool can move in that particular path also. So you can see how the value has been decided. That is, these are basically having the number values and coordinates also. Next, each number or code is assigned to a particular operation. Like G code and M code we are talking. There are various code. Suppose G00, this is one code. G01, this is another code. Z02, this is another code. Again there is M03, this is another code. So these all code are basically, G code is basically used for traveling the tool motion. These are the primary functions that is required to control your program to get the desired product. But M03, they are basically miscellaneous program code. Miscellaneous means like you want to make the spindle off. Would you like to go the spindle to rotate in a clockwise manner or anti-clockwise manner? Would you like to make the coolant on or off using M function? That is the miscellaneous function. Now whether the coolant will be flooded or it will be missed, you have to use miscellaneous function. Whether you want to end your program, or you want to make an optional end, or you want to make a stagnant, I mean to make a program pause, everything is carried out by M code, that is the miscellaneous program. But G code is your primary code, where you are making the tool to travel from various distance, whether G00 linearly, G01 it will be traverse travel, G02 the tool will be moving in a clockwise direction, G03 it will be moving in the anti-clockwise direction. So these are used for basically for your primary function, that is the movement of the tool. Next, the fourth point that we are deciding or we are discussing, it is typed in manually to CAD by machine operators also. So you can see this all are the way how CNC works. Next, it has been told that G code and M code are automatically generated by the computer software also. Okay. Now we are going to talk about features of CNC machine. So what are the features of CNC machine that we are going to discuss today? First of all, the tool or material moves. Obviously, this is one of the good features. Next, tool can operate in 1 to 5 axis also. Next is there, larger machine have a machine control unit which manages the operations. Next is that movement is controlled by a motor, basically actuators. Again I am telling feedback is provided by a sensor, I mean to say transducer. So feedback is provided. Why feedback is provided? I have already explained you that if you need to travel suppose a 100 millimeter distance, 100 millimeter distance you need to travel, but your machine have reached to 98 millimeter. That means 2 millimeter it is lacking behind. If 2 millimeter it is not traveling, that means you are not gaining the exact dimension that you want to get for your product. So this lacking behind of 2 millimeter dimension, it will be again passed feedback to the comparator, where it is going to find out that how much distance it is lacking behind, and that particular distance will be again given as input signal to the machine control unit, so that you can obtain the exact desire of the product. And finally, tool magazines are also used to change tools automatically. So you can change the tool also according to your requirement or according to the operation that you are involving to get or to generate your product. Now we are talking about the tools. What should be the material of the tool, how it is used, and so and so. So most of the cases, the tool that we basically preferred for CNC machining, okay, they are made up of high speed steel, which is very commonly known as HSS. You can go for tungsten carbide also, or ceramics also. Basically, tools are designed to direct waste away from the material. So when you will be performing the machining, it will directly move out the waste material from the actual raw product. Now some tools need coolant because heat generation is occurring since the tool is moving at a very high speed. So friction is generated, and if you are not providing the coolant over that particular portion, then built up edge may occur. In fact, in some of the cases, the friction will be generating more, so you will be getting a very rough output product. So everything has to be maintained. That is, friction must be less in that particular portion. Heat must not be generated there. So the tool needs some sort of coolant. Like what are the coolant they are preferring? That is oil. For what? To protect the tool and your workpiece. Now we will be talking about the tool path, cutting and plotting motion. Basically, the tool path describes the route the cutting tool should take, or the cutting tool should move to cut the product to get the desired product. Well, motion can be described as point-to-point motion, straight cutting, or contouring. Point-to-point motion means, suppose this is your one point. From here you want to move to another point. You want to move to another point. Yeah, fine, you can go. This is point-to-point motion. If you want to go straight line motion or straight cutting, that means you are going here, you are going here, you are going here, you can go. No issue. These are all motion. Okay. And if you want to create contour, obviously you can move the cutting tool in this path also. So motion can be described point to point, straight cutting, as well as contouring. Now, speeds are the rate at which the tool operates, and it has been considered the unit as revolution per minute. Next, feet are the rate at which the cutting tool and workpiece move in the relation to each other. So in one complete rotation, the amount of material that is removed, it is called the feed. And suppose if this is your job, and this is your cutting tool, it is moving in this direction and the job is getting rotated in this way. So this direction is basically maintaining your feed direction. Feed and speed are determined by cutting depth, material and quality of the finish needed. For example, if you are using hard material, then your feed must be slower and speed has to be slower. Next, rough cut removes large amount of materials, then finish cut. So if you want to machine a product and if you want to remove the material from that product, if you are removing in a high amount, that means your depth of cut and feed has been given more, then obviously you will be getting a rough surface of that product. But if you are going for a good surface quality finished product, then always the depth of cut must be given minimum and the feed rate also should be given minimum. So the feed rate as well as the depth of cut, these are directly proportional to the amount of material that you are removing from the product. If you are removing large amount of material, then your cut will be rough one. But if you want to have a good finished cut, then you have to go with the lower amount of material removal. Next, rapid traversing allows the tool or workpiece to move rapidly when no machining is taking place. So rapidly, the term allows the tool as well as the workpiece to move very rapidly. In rapid traversing, traversing means where no machining is going to take place. Now just have a look for tool path, cutting and plotting motion. So this is a tool. You are moving the tool. This is in X direction. This is your Y direction. And Z always determined your depth of cut. Z always detail depth of cut. How much amount of material you are going to remove from this. And you can see basically this is point to point cutting. This is one point, this is another point, this is another point. So point to point motion it is going. Now if the cutter move in one direction constantly, like this way, then the aid of the cutting start. And the cutter constantly move in the backward rotation also. In this way, again this way it can be rotated. The cutter can flows in contour of the surface. That means in this circular way they can move. This is contour clearing. And also the cutter can follow parallel path over the surface of object also. So this is one path, this is another path, it can move. These are all parallel path. Basically these four are the tool path for a machining surface. Now the machining processes you can see is here. First of all, first step that you have to remember while carrying out the machining operation, it is your tool. The tool will be at your home position. So this is the top view of your product. This is your workpiece. This is basically your workpiece. Okay, so and if you have a look here, this is your front view of the workpiece. Okay, now just have a look. The tool is in your home position. So before you start your operation, the tool has to be brought to the initial position. So this is done. So you are mentioning what? X-axis also as well as Y-axis also. So the first step that you are doing to prepare a hole or to drill a hole, you have to fix the position where you want to drill the hole. So X and Y is a rapid to hole position. So right now from the home position you are bringing the tool to the workpiece actual position where you want to perform the hole. Now already the tool came into this position. Now Z axis rapidly moved just above the hole. So if this is your workpiece, you just see the front view. This is your workpiece. You want to make a hole here in this direction. So initially you have to do is that you have to raise the cutting tool from the workpiece. Then you are turning on the coolant. Then you are making the spindle to turn on. That means it is getting rotated. So first you are bringing the tool from the hole position to the actual position where you want to drill the hole. Then you have to move the hole above the surface of your workpiece so that you can make ready of the tool to perform the operation. Then the parameters, that is coolant on, has to be done. You have to make the spindle on so that it can start rotating. Now you just see Z, as I have already told, it always denote, that is depth of cut. That means how much depth you want to make a hole. To how much depth you want to make a hole. So when you have to give the Z axis, that is the feet, to move the drill hole, you can see the cutting tool was initially in this position. Slowly it is getting inserted over the workpiece. And the drilling operation starts. Now you can see after the completion of drilling, how much extent you want to drill. You have completed your drilling operation. Now you have to raise your cutting tool. So here it is, the cutting tool has been raised to its initial position. And then you can see this is the portion where the drilling has already been completed. This is the front view you can see, and from the top view if you view, then you can see a hole has been already penetrated in the workpiece. And after completion of the program, I mean to say drilling operation program, the tool again return to its initial position. So before it gets to the initial position, initially you have to do is that you have to raise the tool from the workpiece, then you have to turn off the spindle, you have to turn off the coolant, and then you have to move the tool to its home position by giving the coordinate value for X, Y. So this was the home position of the cutting tool, isn't it? So here what you are doing is that you are giving the value for X, Y coordinate value for your tool. So when you are giving the value for X and Y coordinate, it is returning to its original position. Now this is one of the example of your milling operation. Here you can see is that already a job has been placed, X and Y. It is the direction that has been provided, and Z is your depth of cut. So this is your cutting tool. If you are starting the spindle on, then it will start rotating here, it will come to this particular position, then it will move along this path, it will move along this path, it will move along this path, then it will move along this path, so that it will come to the again 0, 0 position. Your operation is completed. So whatever we have studied here in this particular operation, but if I want to summarize the thing, then I must say that function of CNC basically it consists of 4 things. One is machine control. Okay, if I think what are the functions, then first is your machine control. Okay, second is in process compensation, in process compensation. Third is it always try to improve programming. And finally, it has to diagnostic. So, if I talk about the machine tool control, then it is the prime function of CNC system to control the machine tool. This basically involves the conversion of the part program instruction into machine tool motion through the computer interface and servo system. Well, in process compensation, the following options are always follows. 1. Adjustment for errors, that is sensed by in-process inspection probes and gauges. Number 2. Recompetition of axis position when an inspection probe is used to locate a datum reference on a work part. Third is your offset adjustment for tool radius and length compensation. And finally, the adaptive control that adjusts to the speed or feed. Third, we are talking about the improved programming, which basically consists of editing of part programming at the machine, graphics display of the tool part to vary the tape, provision of various type of interpolation of circular parabolic, support of old customary unit and new metric unit. Then there should be a manual data input also. Local storage of more than single part program must be associated. So these are the various advantages that are associated, or this must be the various function that should be associated with CNC to improve the programming and operation features. And finally, we are talking about the diagnostic. Why we are using these features for CNC? To minimize of downtime and to give warning about imminent failure of a certain component. So if you are aware that the failure is going to occur, then you can go for AMC to make the perfect requirement changes that is needed for the machine to run very smoothly. So all of you can see that how the features are very much required to operate the CNC machine in a good functional way. So these all functions, that is machine tool control, in-process compensation, input programming as operation features as well as diagnostic must be there, that is required for CNC machine. So finally we have came to the end that we were talked about the CNC machine, because this presentation is totally covering about CNC machine. What are the parts that are associated with CNC machine? How many types of CNC machines are there in this particular field? It is CNC lathe and CNC milling. How CNC basically works? That means with some programming code, and we have already discussed about the G code, M code, but we have not discussed the code language in details. So for this today's lecture, we have come to a conclusion, And if you have liked the video, then please like it and subscribe my channel, and please comment if any further requirement is required in this particular upgradation of the video. As well as I would like to request all of you to be connected with my channel, so that in my next lecture I am going to discuss the various G-code and M-code functions in a very detail, and how to frame a program to perform the operation. So thank you very much.